Let me just say this. We get so many calls of mortgage fuckery. Like it's a lot. Like, happily it's a minority. Like I'm not pretending that it's all the calls. That's silly. We get thousands of calls in a month, and most of them are normal situations. But there's just a strong grouping of calls that's just bad goddamn news. Okay, like let's break it down. What's the most common call of bad news? Most common call is, oh, I have a condo that I bought 6 years ago that's closing in November, and I think it's a big problem. And let me tell you why it's a problem. So the problems range from everything, as we all know, 416 condo crash. So problems range from, I never really had a way to get a mortgage. Yeah, I'd just been flipping them before. I started buying condos back in, 2010, and I flipped a bunch by assignment. I've never actually taken possession. Now I can't get rid of this thing in any way. I've tried, and I think it's worth about $225,000 less than what I paid for it, minimally. And I didn't really have any way to get a mortgage anyhow. I don't really make enough money, and I have a mortgage and a HELOC on my existing property. The HELOC's how I got the deposit for the place, and yeah, what can I do? There's just very, other than they have to decide whether they want to just refuse to close. Just go, I give up. They just say, I give up. I can't close. Tell their lawyers I can't close. Tell them they're going to sue me, and they will in all likelihood. But I just can't close. I don't have any means of closing. So that can happen. Sometimes they just try to work with us and dig up money from every direction to try to close. Because there's a great fear in Canada of litigation. The idea that a lawyer is going to be chasing you, and you probably are in the wrong, like you signed the contract at that price, right? Didn't work out the way you'd hoped, but is that the builder's fault? So there's that. So they're striving to find, can you get a mortgage? Well, you've got a shortfall on appraisal. Appraisal's going to show this a lot less because you didn't have the magical blanket appraisal from some of the banks. Like, you just didn't have it. So you're going to have to come up with a bunch of cash. We can try to get a mortgage for 80% of what the real appraisal value is. Might not be easy. And they're running around cashing in on RSPs and trying everything in the world to try to dig up the cash. That's a bunch of calls. A bunch of other calls are, and again, this is not the majority. It's a minority of calls, a smallish minority, have the same problem with townhouses and single-family homes. It took two years and 2 months for the thing to complete, for the townhouse to complete, and now it's consistently coming in at 8% below appraised value. It's below the appraised value is 8% below their purchase price, or the appraised value is down 12%, appraised value is down 15%, appraised value is down 6%. And first of all, they're mad as hell. Like, they blame the appraisers. Okay, so we'll send out another appraiser. So we send out an appraiser, and the first one says it's worth 11% less than you paid. And we send out another appraiser, and that appraiser says, then the people get mad. 11%, you're crazy. And the builder says you're crazy, and the builder says your appraiser was rude. Okay, fine. We'll see what we can do. Send out another one. It's not as bad, but it's 9% less than what they paid for it. So no matter how and by the way, once two appraisers have said it's worth less, just stop. Okay, just stop. It's worth less. That's it. So then the same problem again. Where are we going to get the money? What are we going to do with them? How are we going to get a bigger mortgage? Blah, 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 blah. So yeah, I mean, it's a thing. Okay. And the other grouping of these just hard calls to deal with, hard calls to help anybody, is the classic all negative cash flow rentals. So get a call last week, 4 rentals. A person's living in a house. The person lives in a house on their own. They have their own home, HELOC on it. And of course, where did all the deposits come from? Some of these people are successful, intelligent people. They just fell in love with investment real estate sometime in the 2010, 15, whatever. They bought pre-construction, townhomes, condos, you name it, and they rent them out. And they're all negative cash flow. Like, we're looking at one where there's 4 rentals. One of them is strongly positive cash flow, and the other 3 are all negative cash flow to one degree or another. some of them have lousy mortgage rates, because if you're trapped at having to get a renewal in like your condo came to completion in 2022 or 2023 or 24, you could have a lousy rate. You could have 619, you could have 569, you could have 499. And as we know, in Ontario, rents are edging down. Like what you can, if your tenant moves out, you're not going to get more. You're going to have to go for less, because that's the trend of all the mortgage rates. Sorry, of all the rental rates. They're just trending down, steadily down. A lot of reasons. Immigrants are not coming as much. There's more rental product available. But the bottom line is, it's statistically clear rents are coming down in Ontario. So lower rents, sometimes mortgage interest rate high, the monthly maintenance fees keep going up. But they come to us to say, what can you do about these mortgages? I might even be willing to pay a break fee, because if you can get mortgage for 4% today, or 4.19 or 3.94, if we get something around 4, which is so much better than 6.19, then it would improve my cash flow. But then when we look at the properties, again, the curse of falling values. So whatever they paid years ago, and bigger mortgages and refi, because it's always this refi to buy the next one stuff. So the values have like slowly crumbled. So even if the person would be fully qualified to do a refinance, to switch to a cheaper mortgage rate, their loan to value doesn't work anymore. They estimated it was at 78.8% loan to value, but really, when we analyze it or appraise it, it's 82.6%, and you can't do a refinance at 82.6% of value unless you go to private financing, and then you're going from the frying pan to the fire. So you are screwed with that. You just don't do it. So that's what we're up against. We're up against a group of people who are having really lousy real estate experience in all forms, whether they have bought and have to close, whether they have and even not just bought condos, bought other real estate products, or they fell in love with being a real estate investor, and then it fell out of love with them, and a lot of things have gone wrong. So what I believe is the outcome comes. There's two important considerations. The outcome is, and again, a small group of people, but they tended to be people who were active investors in real estate. I predict that this interest in real estate will greatly diminish. So there'll be less investors for a while, for years. And finally, this overall thing could get worse. The rates may come down, but not forever. But the values will continue to fall, and the rents will continue to fall. So yeah, in all likelihood, this gets worse.